Here's what I want to say. There is a woman who comes into the church world. She is saved by God. And before she's saved, her standards are very low. She tolerates a lot of nonsense and a lot of foolishness. And when you tolerate a lot of nonsense and foolishness, I mean, that pool could be very larger. And so this woman starts getting close to Jesus. She starts reading her word. She starts praying. And the closer you get to the Lord, your heart is going to be transformed because he is a consuming fire. You cannot get close to fire that don't burn you. So as she gets close to the Lord, now she's reading the word, her standards begin to change. Not only do they change, they start to increase. Her tolerance at the same time simultaneously begins to decrease for things that she feels like are not acceptable for a woman of God. And what that does, because the culture is largely unsaved, it automatically shrinks the pool of men that are candidates for her. Now she has a biblical standard. Now she has a godly standard. And what that does is it may keep her single just a little bit longer. And it may shrink her pool just a little bit smaller. But if I'm single and I'm a single woman who's grown, I would rather be single and wait and have the blessing of peace than be hopping in and out of bad relationships and be miserable all the time. So let's just say, for example, all the men she was rocking with before, they expect to get in that cookie jar because they dating. Like, do I got to go any further than that, or we know what we talking about?
Oh yeah, we on the same page.
So let's say she was in the street, right? And every man she date, he got his hand in that cookie jar. I mean, that's normal culture in the street. But now she's reading in the word about her temple. And now she's reading about her body being a temple of the Holy Spirit. And now she's reading about fornication. And now she's reading about holiness. And now she's feeling convicted about her past life. Now she's saying stuff like, you know what? I want to keep myself for marriage. That's going to shrink her pool down. I want to be celibate until I get married. That's going to shrink her pool down. I want a man that honors God first. That's going to shrink her pool down. I want a man that loves God so deeply that he got to pass through God's heart to get to my heart. That's going to shrink her pool down. I want a man that understands stewardship. That's going to shrink her pool down. So she starts feeling that way. And she starts having that desire. It is going to make her pool very strong. And she may be single for a season. And that's okay, because singleness is not a curse. And marriage is not the promised land. And so, yes, I think her struggle is glorious and it is divine. I want to say it's not unfortunate. We just want to pray for that sister that by God's grace, if it be God's will, she'll find a man that will rise to the level of her standard, as long as her standard is biblical and is not unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? So some women, I think, might have an unrealistic standard.